I'm Michelle Gaviev, and welcome to A Series of Awakenings. On today's show, The Voice of a Young Immigrant, we will discuss the state of immigration in the United States. Our distinguished professor is Gary Marr, and our student correspondent is Lexi Walker. Let's get started with the story of a brave young woman.
Okay, I was born in the country of Jamaica, and I came to America in 2008, the year of 2008, September 29th. I came with my father and my little brother. In Jamaica, I live with my mom very closely, but unfortunately, she wasn't able to come with us to America. As we speak right now, she's still trying to get her visa to come to America, but they turned her down twice already. Let's see. When I came here, it was a very hard transition for me because I was just 9 years old, and my dad had to he wasn't at home because he had to go, he had to go out. It's a new country, so he had to work, obviously, because how are we going to eat? Even though I live in an extended family household, my cousins are there, my aunts, my uncles, and my grandparents, but I didn't grow up with them, so it was just trying to be okay, this is your new family now, and it's just a push for me that I wasn't ready for. Going to school, it was difficult. I didn't talk to nobody. I was just that little shy girl, nobody knew, oh, who's Alexia? Nobody knew me, except the teachers, because I got really close with my teachers. And it's I don't know, I always end up telling this story to them, and I got closer to the teachers more than the actual students, And I just always felt like the oddball in everything. I was always sad. I feel like I was depressed for 5 years, to be honest. I wasn't happy with nothing. What made it really hard was just the whole part with my mom, because I was so attached to her, and it's just that just completely taken away. Even though I know what my dad did for me was the best thing, because coming here I got a better opportunity with my education and better opportunity for my career and stuff like that. But in my head I'm still okay, but I still want my mom. None of this doesn't really matter to me. But that's my story.
Thank you for telling your story.
Thank you.
That was amazing. So we'll roll into questions. Why do we treat immigrants as they're less than human? And how can we comprehend the inclusion of cages?
I don't really know, but let me tell you about something I saw this weekend. On Saturday when we were getting our flu shots, there were some people standing on two sides of 25A, and on one side there was a sign that said, Americans are dreamers, immigrants are nightmares. How did we get to this place? The American dream has been built by immigrants, and the immigrant story is what America has been about and what's made us strong. And how could this misunderstanding be there? I can think of the only one who might think immigrants are nightmares are the Native Americans. But if you go back to history, you see that that people have been coming to America because of liberty, opportunity for freedom. And we have a choice now if we're going to be a nation of gatekeepers or people who embrace immigrants. Your story in 2008, that was the year in which people crossing the southern border went down 24%, because of the economic crisis in the U.S. And yet we talk about this problem as it's about building a wall or about stopping people from coming. And it's, people have stereotype what immigrants have done to America. Look at the Wang Centers, donated by Charles Wang, came at the age of 8, 1952, couldn't buy a house in Queens, and he's given us $25 million building. Immigrants have built the country ever since its beginning.
That's very true, and I don't think many students even that go here, I didn't know that about Mr. Wong and everything that he donated and his upbringing and that he was an immigrant, that we're not really informed on it. And so I think we can transition unless you want to say something.
No, I don't.
Okay. So my next question is actually towards you, Lexi. So how's your experience emigrating to the country as a young child and being separated at such a young age from your mother changed who you are as a young woman?
Okay. It changed me in many ways. And I would say one of the first ways it changed me was I became a lot more independent than I thought I could have been. Because, as I said, having my little brother, and it's not just him. I have 5 siblings, 6 of us, but we didn't all live together at the time, and it was just him. So he was smaller than me, so everything that I was basically his mom. You know, being an older sister, I had to make sure that he take a shower. I had to make sure that he does his homework. I walk him to school because we went to the same elementary school. I walk him to school. I make sure that he eats. I make sure that he's good. You know. I learned how to go shopping by myself, how to make my own doctor's appointment, all of that. Because it's funny because my dad, even though I got a little better with my speech of saying proper English, my dad is terrible. Like, he can't say a proper sentence without anybody saying, excuse me, what did you say? For example, like we went to like parent-teacher conference, I always have to translate what he said to the teacher. But after a while, like when they got used to him, they finally understood what he was saying. I felt it had changed me. I felt more I felt lonely when I came. That also changed about me because I didn't feel like there was anybody who understood like where exactly I was coming from. Because not even my own father like understood, because he was like, oh, it's fine, it's just it's not like you don't see her during the summertime. But he doesn't understand that, okay, Dad, you're out there doing this, doing that, you don't know what's going on with me personally, like, you know what I'm trying to say? So, and that was like that not okay. That is very challenging for me up until this day. And I would say another way that it changed me, I became more brave to do certain things, because I'm like, okay, well, if I got through this, I could do that, you know. That's why I always try to fight to do my best education-wise, because my mom didn't have that opportunity and she's not here with me. So to make her proud, I always say, okay, I'm gonna go to college, because, I'm sorry, she didn't get the opportunity to. She was really intelligent in school, but, you know, the economic system in Jamaica is terrible. Like, they have no type of money. And we are not a rich family, so she couldn't be able to go to college. And then she had me when she was, I believe, 18. And so I said, okay, since I got this opportunity to come here, I'm not just going to make everything negative, you know, even though being in this country alone is just so isolating to me. And I was like, okay, I'm here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Went to high school, get my diploma. I was in honors class. I did many extracurricular activities. I always try to get involved just to distract myself from what's actually going on in my life. I said, okay, I'm going to come to college, one of the best colleges. And even though it's hard, it's challenging keeping up with the classes and stuff, but I'm like, I'm going to do this. And it's going to make me feel really proud, you know, to have that, to make my mom see what I'm doing, because I talk to her like almost every day, more than my father, and my father lives here. And it's just like certain things I try to avoid telling her because I know how much it hurts. She told me that it feels like she has a hole in her heart because her 2 kids were taken away from her. So it's just stuff like that that helps me to keep going, because I'm like, okay, I'm doing this for me, and I'm also doing this to make my mom proud of me.
That's beautiful. Honestly, your story warms my heart.
Thank you.
It gives me chills. It's beautiful. And we actually don't really have time for another question, but I'm so happy that we all got to hear your story. And I just hope that many people hear it and their hearts open up, because it should. So sadly, we're out of time for today. And I'd like to thank our guests for today, Professor Marr and Lexi Walker. Please stay tuned for next week's show when we break down voters and polls in the upcoming elections. I'm Michelle Gavia. See you next week.